Hello, everyone. This is another session of Fred Speaks, and I have a great subject tonight, letting go. Letting go. And as I was thinking about this subject, it's something that we all struggle with in our lives of different things that we've had occur and that we seem to struggle to let them go. And everybody, as I'm speaking, you probably can think of something in your life that has been very difficult to let go. And I think the main reason why we hold on to things is because somewhere we've developed some type of comfort and we don't want to forget whatever the memory was, whatever happened. We don't want to let it go. We always want to be in remembrance of it and the pain, the suffering, or the disappointment, whatever it may have been. But we just find ourselves not wanting to let go. And the problem with that is, in not letting go, we become to be stagnant. And if you know anything about water, water has to flow. With the more it flows, the more it purifies itself. Um, but if it becomes stagnant, it becomes to be, stale and foul from standing, and not moving. And the same way with us in our lives, when we're not able to let things go and be able to move on, we stop developing, we stop growing, we stop progressing or advancing in our lives. And we look around and others are progressing and we're still a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even longer, we're still in the same state and we haven't been able to let go. And that's something that, like I said, that we all struggle with, even myself, struggle with things where, it's like certain things you want to happen in your life and they don't happen. And you feel like you're being punished for something. uh, you know, there's something that um, is caused bringing about this, whatever the issue is. Um, and like I say, you feel like you're being punished, so you kind of just remain in that spot, not moving and just stagnant. And so I just want to discuss this topic because I feel it's a great topic, and I think we all at some point in our life we struggle with it. And I was thinking about one scenario of where someone may have hurt you verbally or physically, and then that person is going on with their life or whatever, but you're yet holding on and still saying, why me, why did this have to happen to me? And I've had that so many times in my life where you want to do right by people, but all sometimes people don't do right by you, and they do you wrong, and and you're hurt by it. But and sometimes you feel like, well, I'm just going to hold on to this, I'm going to hold them to this in my mind or whatever, I'm going to hold them to this. But actually, you're not holding them, you're holding yourself. And the only way for you to be free is to let it go, to let it go, to you know and it is a process. It's not something that you snap your finger and you're able to do it, but it is a process through prayer, um through time, and you just eventually you're able to let it go. But I just wanted to get this message out because I know so many people that are out there and that I talk to that struggle with this. And one of the things, like I mentioned, was they feel like they're, holding this person by holding on to whatever happened, but actually you're not holding that person. That person can go on. They move past it or whatever. Even though they may not have come back to you to apologize or whatever, they've moved on, and so you're still stuck, you know, with the after effects, and it's only hurting, you. And so, I just want to encourage everyone that listens to this podcast that, in order for us to grow and to advance and be the best person that we can be, we have to be able to let things go. And I was thinking about, and some may not agree with it or like this reference, but I was thinking about a snake. In order for a snake to grow, it has to shed, it has to shed the old skin, that it might be able to expand and grow. And that's the way we have to do in our lives. We have to be able to shed all of that old stuff, all of that, stuff that, grieved us. And there's some things, you can be having a great day and then all of a sudden you have a thought about something that happened and it kind of bring your spirit down, um, and put you in a funk where you're feeling a certain way. And that's because we haven't let it go. So it's still there. It's still a sore spot. It's still an issue. And like I said, it's being human. It's not easy for us to do it, but with God, it's possible for us to let these things go, to give it to God, and let Him. He's equipped. He's built to deal with these things, but be able to let go, be able to forgive and forget and move on. And so I just want to get this message out tonight. It was on my mind and I couldn't wait to talk about it. But letting go, and what happens when we don't let go is that we become to be stagnant. And in other words, we're not moving, we're not progressing. And in order for us to be good for the people that are in our lives and people that we deal with, we first have to make sure that we're whole. And we find ourselves trying to do so much for other people, and we're within, we're struggling because we have so much garbage and so much stuff that we're holding on to, and yet at the same time we're trying to encourage and give advice to others when a lot of the times what we're telling them, we need to apply it to our own lives and do it ourselves. So we have to let go if we're going to be a help, not only to ourselves but to others. We first got to deal with our issues. And the one point I want to make sure that everybody knows: if you don't deal with your issues and face them, you know, they're going to deal with you later. And that's where we find ourselves when we don't let go. That those issues are still there, and they affect us in new relationships, friendships. Those things, they come up because they're still there because we never let them go. And so the first thing is to deal with our issues, deal with them, and that way we can move on and we don't have to bring that garbage and all the junk into new relationships, and which is not fair. It's not fair to the next person to bring that old stuff and basically the anger and all of that that comes along with that. It's not fair to the next person. So uh, you know, let us be mindful of this: is that we need to deal with our issues, be able to let them go, and before we jump off into something else, another relationship, we need to first, make sure that we're whole. because if we're not good for anybody else, even though we try to, but we're really not. At the end of the day, we're struggling. And so let's let go. Let's let go of all the garbage, all the junk, and so that we can be whole and that we can be a help to our friends, our neighbors, our family, and anyone that we come in contact with, that we are now equipped and ready to be a help to others. So again, let's let go. Let's let go of all this junk and all the issues and the hurt that that we've experienced, and let us be that whole person that God wants us to be, that we can help others in our communities, our families, on our job, and even people that we encounter in the grocery store, that we have a kind word to say, that we're not mean and hateful because of all the junk that we've accumulated, but we are able to let go. And so let us do that. Let us encourage one another, and have a good night. I hope that you were able to get something out of this podcast, and we'll talk soon.